This week in Sailing Seagull South, experience the World War II tunnels in Ramsgate. Join us on passage to Harwich and then up to Lowestoft, where we pass through a lifting bridge to reach the marina. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It looks quite pretty. We've sort of walked in. We can see all these lovely old arches and buildings behind Alan. This is the inner marina where you lock in. We didn't do that. And the main town seems to be in that direction. There's lots of really cool little cafes and restaurants in these arches as we've walked up. Look at this one with all the beautiful flowers. And this one's a little art gallery. Just looks fantastic. What great use of these old spaces. So here's Ramsgate tunnels that we've come to see. In we go. We've arrived in Ramsgate tunnels. Started, I think, as an old railway tunnel, and then they excavated more out, and during the Second World War people sheltered in these tunnels while the air raids were on. We're about to have a tour. I'm quite excited, really. There's a bit of a museum before we go in. And there's Alan looking at the stuff.
Right, all gather down opposite the tree start.
We're just sitting eating our dinner, and we're sitting just below the lifeboat station up there, and you can see the lifeboat, and we heard the lifeboat alarm sound, and now the lifeboat engines are running. Maybe she's just about to go out on a shout. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but you can see lifeboat crew up at the top in the yellow, classic yellow. There's people climbing onto the lifeboat with kit. Somebody coming down the steps. Maybe they are going out. I don't know. It's all interesting though. I can see them running down. I think they've arrived. Most of them. Some of them are still hoisting their kit on. Looks like we've still got one more crew member coming down the steps, but they're all getting on, so it must be going out for a shout. Or maybe it's some sort of practice. Perhaps we should turn our radio on and find out. I think they're just taking their lines off. Here they go. The water's quite low, but they're coming out in astern. So they must be going out. Well, I hope whoever they're going to get feels relieved when they see this magic blue and orange boat appear. It is the most amazing service. Always support our lifeboats. Look at that. Help is coming. I've just changed position and hopefully we'll see the boat coming out in a sec. Here she comes. Making for the exit. So the Mayday shout, we put our VHF radio on and had a listen, and it's for a yacht called Emily. She's somewhere nearby Dover, I think, in that direction, but they've sent the Ramsgate lifeboat out, so maybe it's somewhere in between here and there. Is apparently got an ingress of water, so it's sinking, and it sounds like the crew are trying to frantically empty the boat with the pumps that they've got, but they're getting a little bit overwhelmed. So that's why they've sent the lifeboat out, and it also sounds like they may possibly scramble the helicopter, so we might have to have a listen out for that. But now we know what all the drama is. So we've just left the marina, Ramsgate. Yesterday we were over here and we were underground, as you saw. And I think the area we were underground was near these multicoloured zigzag steps. We had a great time. We're heading to Harwich, so that's our next destination. I had to think about that. Sometimes when you've moved around so much you can't remember where you're going. There's not a lot of wind today, and I think this is evidenced quite well by yet another wind farm over here. Look, we're not that far away from it now. It's difficult to pick up on camera, but the turbines are not moving. It is as still as it can be. It's a bit eerie, really. Looks a bit like a sort of dead farm. It's really odd. Like there's no one there. No commissioning. But we're just going to skirt around the edge of it. We are missing out lots of big channels, big sandbanks, weird channels going into the Thames estuary. And there's a massive wind farm there as well. And you can see all the ships coming out of the Thames over there. The skipper's just appeared on deck. Give us a wave, skipper.
Check the tides.
And?
We're slightly slowing down because they're coming round. They're pushing us this way now instead of pushing us up.
Oh, okay. But it makes sense.
They're coming round this headland.
Oh, I
So
see.
If we were going up the Thames, we'd be fine.
The headland there. Okay. Well, at least we know what's going on now.
But it should pick up in a bit.
Okay.
And then we'll get tide almost all the way.
Woohoo! We love having tide.
The trouble is we change direction.
Yeah, just to complicate
Tide will keep
matters.
pushing up, but we go across it.
So this is how we navigate when we're at sea. We've got a tablet with which we use as a repeater. So when Alan's down below, we can keep the log, which we do keep every hour. And I'm afraid we are very old school. We still have charts and we like to make a note of where we are. You never know when you might lose your electronics. So while we're on passage today, we realised that we haven't mentioned anything about where we're intending to go, what our destinations are. And a lot of the time we just go where the wind goes, really, and we say, oh, it's predominantly that way, so that's the way we'll sail. But just recently we were talking and we decided that it might be fun to do a full circumnavigation of the UK. We've not... We thought actually we've probably covered about at least 2/3 of it, so we might as well finish it off, and it's something that the skipper, Alan, has always wanted to do. So we are currently heading in a northerly direction, not sailing Seagull South, but sailing Seagull North. And we hope to winter somewhere, I suppose, on the northeast coast, so that the boat's not too far to travel to in the winter, so we can do our maintenance ready for sailing next season. And then next season, Scotland, here we come. This is our first sort of views of Harwich as we're coming in. It looks quite industrial behind me. The channel, we're just on the outside of the main deep water channel. It's a sort of small ship's channel. It's not far till we get in, but it is getting quite cold. As you can see, I'm very wrapped up, no more shorts. But time is getting on. It is the last day of August, so we're starting to feel the chill a bit. I think our shorts may be resigned to the cupboard for a while. We may be back in our long trousers. As we're coming in, we can see these massive container ships in port. Absolutely huge, with hundreds and hundreds of containers on. Looks like there's a bit of a ferry in the background and even more container ships. And we're just coming down a really small channel. I can't believe these great big boats come in here. It's probably just wide enough for them, really. But we're currently just on the edge of that channel. So we're just near the red buoys. So if we need to, we can go the other side of it quite quickly if anything is moving. But at the moment, it's not. It's getting quite late now. Very much looking forward to our supper. We're absolutely starving. Well, I am. The skipper's nodding, so he must be too. Well, we've just about got in and tied up. literally minutes, and this huge Stena ferry's just come in. I'm so glad we're still not out there worrying about the depth and how we're going to come alongside. It was a little tight getting in here. We had about 0.4 of a metre. It is low water. We would have had a rising tide. But we moored alongside these guys with a beautiful Halberg Brassy 54. Very helpful. Helps us come alongside and tide us on. Fantastic. We are both utterly starving. I think the skipper, well, I cooked something earlier. He's just making the rice and warming we've got a stewing steak beef chilli. Oh, yum. That is huge. We barely had enough water if we come out of the channel, so I hope he doesn't. And then down below, we're cooking, which I'm really pleased about, because I'm absolutely starving. Although at this time of night I shouldn't eat too big a portion, but the food is on its way. We just got off the boat this morning and there's greeted by this lovely statue. Alan's being one of the statues this morning. He looks rather fantastic. It's the Kinder Transport sculpture. It's called Safe Haven. Apparently this is where the children that came over from Germany, the Jewish children, docked when they came ashore. We had no idea about that. And behind you, or behind Alan, is a rather large ship, and this is the boat that rocked, the one that was the radio station apparently. Look at that. So apparently it is the one that they used to film the boat that rocked. We think the original one sank. We were just trying to work that out. But you can go and visit and have a tour around. We did spoil ourselves this morning and we went in the pier for breakfast. Very nice.
These are some, we think, Ministry of Defence structures. They look amazing on the shoreline. Sand, well, I don't know if they're sand. They look as if they're sort of sand dunes built up around the structure, but they're clearly not. It's concrete. But interesting. Wonder what they were used for.
I don't know if you can tell, but the water around here has gone a bit brown. It reminds me of the Bristol Channel. Really brown compared to what we've been sailing in. I don't know if you can see this, but the water is breaking like crazy on the bank as we come by. It's going wild. And this is us in the channel on our way into Lowestoft. Here we are. We've had to hang around for about 40 minutes outside because there wasn't enough water inside. But this is the entrance to Lowestoft. About to go in. We've got the green lights. So we've been called in by port control. Apparently there's quite a few yachts hanging around waiting for the lock. The evening has been much better than the later part of the afternoon. Skipper's looking very happy. Nearly in. So port control's just harbour control has just radioed us. The bridge is up. You can see the lifting bridge on either side is raised. There is a catamaran going in before us. Then we're going through, and then there's a couple of boats on the right rafted together. They're going to follow us through at the end. There we go. Final run up to find our berth. We're going to Lowestoft Haven Marina. We've been allocated a berth, B1, so I'll be our home for tonight. This has turned out really well. Here we are, going through. I never worry about these coming down. It's the heights of bridges that bother me. You can just see the sun peeking through the clouds as well. Luckily it's not too cold this evening. We've got lots of spectators. Oh, look at that awesome statue. The seafarer looking out to sea. There we go, we got a wave. this bit's interesting. Apparently, the skipper tells me, because I probably look bored or something, even though I'm running around like a maniac,
Get on with these scary dogs.
that I've got to get on and film this. So in front of us, it is quite interesting actually, is a second bridge being built. It's currently not finished. Open to the sky so we can go straight through. But when it is, boats will have to wait for this bridge as well as the first bridge before they can get up to Lowestoft Haven Marina. But lucky for us, it's not finished, so we're just going to go straight through. I tell you what, these Border Force boats seem to be following us around. There's another one here. And apparently a really big Asda. But it's a bit far for us to walk, I think. Yeah, you can say that.
About time.
Now we're closer. The bridge looks absolutely massive. Looks like it might be going to be for something like a dual carriageway across. Clearly still in construction. At least they've left this bit till last.
The size of those fenders.
Look at that.
They've got
Oh my
fend-offs
word.
on the fend-offs.
Massive fenders. We don't want to be bumping into the bridge now, do we? They are huge. And look at these floating docks with the cranes on that are working on the bridge. Whole platform. All sorts on there. There's a couple of floating docks that side. And they've even got boat names, Claude Monique.
No, it's not that. I thought it's for a second with the tyre in the way. I thought it said Claude Monet.
Okay. I think I better get on with what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, come on, stop playing.
Stop playing now. Is that what you're telling me?
Stop playing, get on with your job.
I don't know, the abuse I get. I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe and share if you're enjoying our content. It really helps us out.